we could talk to the animals, just imagine it.
If we could talk to the animals, we might not like what they have to say. Many of our pets are now suffering from ailments you'd be more likely to associate with humans. Many are out of shape, depressed, and overweight. America's pets are sounding more and more like their owners.
Veterinarians are beginning to specialize in treating very human-like problems in animals with many of the same drugs and therapies used by medical doctors. Tonight, KARE 11's Brad Woodard looks at the health issues facing our pets and the unique ways they're being treated right here in Minnesota.
Zoe!
The Thayers of North Oaks are a typical American family.
Zoe!
There's Mom Susan, her children Cole and Paige, and then there's Zoe Thayer.
She's more than just a dog.
She is.
Oh, she's like a sibling.
She's just a member of the family.
I can tell her anything if I don't want to tell anybody else. Like, I can tell her things so I can just let them out so they're not just stuck inside of me. And she's one of my best friends.
Like any good mom, Susan naturally became concerned when she noticed Zoe was putting on a little weight.
This is her thyroid medication that she has to take twice a day.
Make that a lot of weight.
Morbidly obese is how they diagnosed her at the vet the last visit.
Zoe, stay. Looks like 114.
At 114 pounds and only 3 years old, Zoe is about 45 pounds overweight.
You're too young to be so big. And your family has clearly been trying so hard.
Dr. Julie Churchill is an animal nutritionist at the University of Minnesota Veterinary Medical Center.
Part of my practice is a weight loss clinic. It certainly is. It's looking at the whole pet, looking to see if they have any underlying medical conditions, and evaluating their diet in light of those conditions. So Bonder has asthma. Hello.
While much has been written about their differences, the real truth about cats and dogs.
A third of all adult dogs and cats are overweight or obese, and by the time they reach their middle age, that it's almost half.
Bonder there weighs nearly twice what he should.
He always has been fond of food. Now he sits and he lays by the food bowl, and if I even go toward the kitchen, he's up and he's ready.
Kind of like to indulge them, don't you?
Yes, I do. Yeah, like with nice white turkey or good tuna. They love it so very much, and then they get all happy and go to sleep.
After indulging Bonder for years, Laura Carroll has placed her beloved pet on a strict diet.
Here you go.
And now she feels guilty about not heeding the warnings of doctors earlier.
He was over what they wanted him to be, and I just didn't deal with cutting it off.
It's kind of hard to, though, isn't it?
Yeah, it really is.
It's very easy to look in those big brown eyes and compensate with food, because there's such a positive reaction when we feed.
When I was talking to the nutritionist on Monday, I almost thought I could cry, just thinking that I wasn't being responsible. It's kind of my duty as a pet owner, and I take that very seriously.
Look at the human population. We don't always make the best choices for ourselves. And that's also reflected in the choices we make for our dogs.
But obesity isn't the only element we share with our companion animals.
Dr. Von Zimmer has some food for you. Here you are. Oh, Matisse. Oh, Matisse, you're very angry, aren't you?
Yeah, I'll never forget the Newfoundland, huge dog that I treated with a phobia of flies.
She's often called a pet shrink, but in reality, Dr. Petra Mertens is a veterinarian and animal behaviorist at the university.
Compulsive behaviors are actually fear-related behavior problems.
She treats patients with ailments ranging from anxiety disorders to depression, at times using the same drugs humans use.
So that would be the category of antidepressants, such as Prozac being one of the more famous ones, Celexa, there's a variety of names coming to mind.
Yeah, sadly, I know many of them from personal experience.
You worry about being psychoanalyzed yourself as your pet is being looked into.
On this day, she's working with Tim and Jerry Gordon,
That's totally fine.
who fear their dog Sigmund has dominance issues.
Okay. What I'm going to have you do, though, is also ignore him, because if somebody starts interacting with him, he changes his behavior. Totally.
Easier said than done. Turns out, though, Sigmund isn't dominant at all. Quite the opposite.
Dogs like him are extremely intelligent, which is part of the problem.
Yes. I think he's smarter than me most days.
Smart enough to push his owner's buttons to get attention.
Because if he just does it long enough, intensely enough, etc., he'll get you to react at one point because, it's obnoxious.
Dr. Mertens teaches the Gordons to ignore Sigmund's bad behavior and to reward his good behavior. And in the course of a 1-hour session, she has Sigmund eating out of her hand, literally.
Once he's a mature dog, you should call him Dr. Freud.
We learned quite some time ago that anything humans can get, dogs can get.
Same goes for treatment for all animals.
And you can tell by his tail. He likes it.
From acupuncture
Good boy.
to massage to working out on the treadmill.
She's on a conditioning program. She's a very, very nice horse.
The cutting edge of animal care extends beyond the university. At the Pine Ridge Pet Hospital and Wellness Center in Andover,
Are you ready? Here we go.
one of only a handful of underwater treadmills for animals in the nation.
Good girl, Bit. Come.
When Miss Bit became paralyzed due to a herniated disc, it looked like she was going to have to be euthanized.
I mean, as any pet parent will tell you, they look at you with those eyes, and her tail was going, and she was just, I think she was just reaching to us to, don't do it. I'm not ready. And she's clearly not ready.
Clearly.
The whole thing about rehabilitation is we are trying to re-educate the body how to work.
Barb Guzzi was a physical therapist in the human world for nearly 20 years before she decided to go back to school to get certified in canine rehabilitation.
You see the back surgeries, the arthritis, hip surgeries, knee surgeries, just athletic injuries. Everything is very, very similar to what we see in human beings.
Rehabilitation has really taken off, I think, because of owner demand for better care for their pets.
Come on, Zoe.
For their four-legged family members, they ask for so little and give so much, and their human companions are going to greater lengths than ever to give something back.
Ready?
Brad Woodard, KARE 11 News, Andover.
By the way, Zoe, the dog you saw there, had a follow-up appointment with the vet today, and she lost 4 pounds. If you'd like to learn more about the services offered at the Pine Ridge Clinic and the U of M, we have created a special link to their websites at KARE11.com.